Welcome to All Things Retreat Podcast. I'm Holly Porter, your host and CEO of Retreat R&R. With over 25 years of experience in designing transformative retreats, I'm here to share insights and inspiration to help you create extraordinary experiences. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, you'll find valuable ideas here. Enjoy the ride. Let's dive in. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about something that affects every leader, entrepreneur, and business owner, the decisions we make every single day. My guest, Chip Scholz, hope I said that right, is an executive coach, author, and leadership strategist who has spent nearly 30 years helping leadership strategists who has helped leaders, founders, and family businesses navigate leadership, succession, culture, and change. But Chip's perspective on change became deeply personal after rebuilding his own life following a stroke. He's experienced, reinforced something he has seen throughout his career. Transformation doesn't always happen in one giant, life-changing moment. More often, it happens through the small decisions we make consistently over time. Chip's the author of Small Decisions, Big Shifts, Every Dog Has a Day, and Handoffs. And today, we're going to explore how those seemingly small choices can create major shifts in our leadership, our businesses, and our lives. Chip, welcome to the show.
God, Holly, I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, so happy to have you. I love talking to my guests just before we start and just getting to know them a little better. So thanks for sharing and listening to me blab today. I'm really a blabber today. Maybe I'm a blabber every day.
I have a funny feeling, you can't outlive it.
I have the best husband. He's such a good listener. And sometimes he'll say, I don't really know anything about what you're talking about, but I'm here to listen. It's like,
how long have you been married?
Feedback, it's like, good man, I'll tell you. But when he does have feedback, I'll get it. It's all right. And when he doesn't like something, I'll be told. So there you go.
How long have you been married, Holly?
Oh my gosh. This time, it's out. It's in my book. I have to admit it. 25 years almost. And we've raised 8 kids and have 19 grandkids.
Wow.
A house full.
Wow,
well, not anymore. We're houseless, but no, we're kidless. There we are.
Yeah, houseless. That
sounded like I'm homeless. I'm not homeless. Not yet. I'm going to be on the road in about 6 months and then I'll be homeless, but by choice.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, I've been married 42 years.
Oh, congrats. I just talked to someone else.
I had a starter marriage too. So, it's pretty...
practice run?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You find out what you don't want, and then you find out what you do want.
Yeah, yes. And then you hope you grow together, not apart.
That's right.
That's the goal. Well, all right. What's the biggest mistake, Chip, that you've made as doing these retreats and these masterminds that you've put together that's made you better?
It always makes you better. So I've got an interesting story. I've got my oldest daughter is my assistant.
Okay.
And so, over the years, she and I have been working on these retreats. We do all the arrangements and, all the ground and all the meals and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And what I was doing, I turned them over to her and she would make the arrangements. And then she'd say, oh, would you check them over? And I'd kind of give them a cursory nod and I'd say, oh yeah, it's okay. We were in Grand Rapids, Michigan several years ago. We had a retreat that we're starting on a Thursday morning. We had a wonderful dinner on Wednesday night. And then Thursday morning, we were supposed to start with a breakfast and then the meeting during the day on Thursday.
Right.
Christine and I showed up for the meeting and we got to the meeting room at about 7:00 in the morning and there wasn't a damn thing set up.
Oh.
Nothing. Not a thing set up.
Pivot.
Well, so we checked on the contract. We had signed the contract for Friday instead of Thursday. Now, I've got to tell you, we were staying at the JW Marriott, and they were perfect. They were so helpful. They put together the meal real quick. They got the room set up. They really did a great job. And I think it was about 15 or 20 minutes later than the 8 o'clock start that we had gotten to.
Pretty good.
But they did a half good job. You know, I'm glad it wasn't a group of 1,000. It was just a group of about 12 people. But
Yeah.
oh my God, you would talk about a panic. That's you know, and
Wow.
I'm pretty cool most of the time, but that tested me. And my daughter is paranoid now, just absolutely paranoid. This was
Double,
probably
triple.
15 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's paranoid about arrangements.
Well, I don't blame her. My mom, I used to help her cater weddings, and she had the wrong date for a wedding cake. They didn't get a wedding cake.
Oh my God.
I mean, talk about, and another time one got dropped, like the main part of it. So it was like, I mean, what do? You can't even make that stuff up. So yeah, you just learn as a leader though, how you handle that matters, and how you handle, I mean, it was your fault, right? But sometimes, and a lot of times it is the hotel or the space that you're renting. They make mistakes all the time. And that's why it is good to have somebody doing the logistical part of it. One person, just make sure you're double checking. And I can imagine your daughter. Yeah,
Well,
she's
yeah,
probably
she
good
she
at
is
that
she is extremely paranoid. But you know, the biggest thing is that you just, first of all, you never let them see you sweat,
now. Yeah,
and it we're doing the meeting for other people.
right.
You know, that's what you're there for, is
Yeah.
doing the meeting for other people. So you can't let it affect them.
Mm-mm. No.
You
And
know,
your
so
attendees should never know it happened
that's right. That's right. So
unless they need to. Unless they need to.
yeah, so you go back to the room and walk into the closet in the room and swear and cuss and
Yeah.
do all that kind of stuff, and you know that get over it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And then you
there's
laugh about
been,
it later because there's nothing you could have done differently.
well, there's a lot we could have done differently about that,
Well, yeah.
get the date right. But
Well, I mean,
you
but
know,
at the time it happened, you do what you can do, and that's all you can do.
yeah, yeah.
Well, oh my gosh, that's wild. What's one thing that you've learned that no amount of planning can prepare you for?
One of my favorite sayings is Semper Gumby, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Gumby, but
Gumby
do
the
you know who?
Gumby? The rubber?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah,
Gumby.
yeah, yeah.
How old do you think
So
I am? I know all about
hey,
Gumby.
you're not that old, but
Ugh.
yeah. So Semper Gumby means always flexible. Semper is Latin for always, and Gumby is flexible. So always flexible. And I found out recently that that's a phrase that came from the Marine Corps. But Semper Gumby is the way that I live my life. And you know, again, if something doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to, you flex. You
Yeah.
do what you need to do, and you make the decisions that are going to be the best decisions. You know, because after all, what we're there for, and what I'm there for, I'm the organizer.
Yep.
What I'm there for is to make it a seamless experience for the people that we're with. I was just out in LA, and LA is my old stomping grounds. We lived in LA before we lived here.
Okay.
One of the, and it was such a joy to put together because I got to deal with a lot of old friends. One of my friends is a guy named Michael Schaefer, who owns and is chef of a restaurant in Torrance, California called The Depot. And so we got a chance to go to the Depot for one of the dinners. And then I have an old friend that or I shouldn't say old friend. I have a longtime friend. Isn't that better than saying old friend?
Well, I don't
I have
like
a
when my
longtime
brother says
friend.
I'm his old sister. No,
Yeah,
I
right,
don't mind
right.
you say older. He says big. I'm his big sister. I'm like, no, you don't say big. So yeah, you can say
Yeah,
old.
yeah. But he had some connections with the Port of LA. We were going to take a port tour, and we went and looked at the USS Iowa as
Nice.
well. Got a tour of the USS Iowa out there. So you know, I'd been to the resort before that we stayed. We've dealt with them before. They're a little difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
They're a little difficult to get an answer on anything, but you know, you deal with it, and it was a great trip, and it's so
Okay.
much fun to, you know, truly, one of the mastermind members hosts the trip, but that hosts in name only. You know, they usually give us some suggestions, and we
Sure.
planned this one from the ground up.
Nice. Yeah, I love planning things. I don't like doing all the logistics. I mean, I usually have help to do that. But the planning and the creative part, I'm all in. So I love that part. Let's talk about small decisions creating big shifts. What's one small decision a retreat leader could make today that could completely change their business a year from now?
Well, think about all of the decisions you make for a retreat. But if you're talking about the global, what can they do to improve their business?
Mm-hmm.
It's to look at what's causing what's causing them to keep from being as good as they can possibly be.
Yeah.
Is their organization that their situation is it billing, is it not having a great idea of what food is like, and how to put together a menu and things like that. But it's finding that one thing that is holding them back from excelling. And the one thing I find a lot of times with people, and people in my profession as well, I've been an executive coach for a long time. There are a lot of executive coaches that are brilliant at coaching.
Yeah.
They can't ask for money, so they don't get paid for what they do.
Just can't close.
Yeah, and it's not only closing, but it's actually billing people. It's asking people for money.
True.
And so look, don't discount what you do.
Yeah.
As a planner, my mother was a meeting planner for many years, and in fact, she was the president of Meeting Planners International in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, and she's been dead for over 40 years, but so that's the organization's been around. But it's like, don't discount what you do, because what you do is incredible. And I don't care how many people say, well, I could have done that. Well, no, they can't.
Right.
Stay
in your zone of genius.
Putting together a retreat and getting speakers and making sure the food is right, and making sure the accommodations are right. And it's funny how travel brochures look a hell of a lot different than actuality.
Oh, so true. Yeah. That's why I always say, when you're doing a retreat, even international, especially international, you need to do a site visit. Go make sure you check out where they're going. Because like if you have 50, 100 people in this group that you're bringing together, I mean, you need to know all that stuff's okay. Through our association, we were going to do where we vetted like venues and things. And someone said, oh, don't even go down that rabbit hole, because it's a huge job. Number one. Number two, in 6 months, it could have sold right after you were there, and it just went downhill. And I mean, it could be totally a different property. And I thought, and then your name's on it. And I thought, good point. I love when smarter people that I don't know all the answers, and they help me out with that. It's awesome.
None of us do.
No, but
none of us do.
I was going to say, when you were talking about the sales part of it, just recently, one of my business partners was telling me a situation where her brother was working with somebody who was helping close sales, and they didn't send him, they had someone hot. They were ready to pay, and they didn't even send him the contract to sign for like 10 days because they had said yes. And I'm like, oh, they had all that time now to talk themselves out of it and change their mind. You need to be ready to go when you're going to get somebody in at your retreat. Make sure those forms are there. They're signing them. You're getting payment immediately. If you wait, a lot of times that's when they change their mind, or some negative ninny comes up and talks them out of it. Or very interesting.
Exactly.
Okay. Next one. Retreat leaders are often great at creating transformation for everyone else, but where do you see leaders neglecting their own growth?
It's funny when people ask me, I would love to be a coach. How do I go about doing that? My first answer is to get a coach.
Yes. Oh, best answer.
It doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm saying, find a coach. Find a coach that works for you. Find a coach that you can trust. Find a coach to be able to bounce things off of. And even what's what's really wild these days is you can do a lot of coaching on ChatGPT or one of the
Sure.
AI platforms. I still am not sold completely on a digital voice, but
It's too nice
you
to you,
know,
though.
yeah, I think that is a problem.
It's
It's a
too much
little
of a
sick.
cheerleader.
Yeah, it's a little sycophantic actually,
It's like, give me the
but
raw truth.
the other thing is find a group of people that you trust,
Yeah.
that you
I
can
call
bounce
that a
things off of.
mastermind. Even if I've done masterminds with other women mostly, and I had a tech mastermind. We were kind of all at the same level. I didn't feel like I needed to charge for it because they were in business, and I was just like, there's nothing wrong with charging for them. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying these couple different ones that I started. Yeah, it was like it was a think
Well,
tank. I was coach burned out at the time though. I'd outgrown all my coaches, and I just needed that who you can
well,
talk to.
and so yeah, that is a perfect thing. A perfect example is having a mastermind group of your peers.
At your
So
level or higher is what I would suggest.
yeah, so
Don't be the leader. To be the dumbest one in the room.
I run mastermind groups for an association, and that's what I do. That I get paid for that, and
Yep.
I know my role. However, if I want professional development, I have formed my own mastermind groups,
Yeah.
and I've been a part of a mastermind group. In fact, 2009, I was a part of a mastermind group. We wrote a book together,
Hmm.
and so that was all a part of the mastermind group. But they were 8 people that I trusted
Yeah.
and learned a lot from, and
Yep.
then you move on to the next group, look, you don't have to do this thing by yourself.
Right.
You really don't.
No.
It's you can find people that you trust. You can find people that, and I don't care if you're the smartest person. If you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
100%. You got it. You got
Of
it.
course,
Yeah.
if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you probably aren't. You just got a problem.
The ego's in the way.
That's right.
It's funny. My book, Near Death Shift, the shift acronym, the S is surrender. And people ask me all the time, like, what's the hardest one out of surrender, hope, intuition, faith, and transformation in my story? And I always say surrender for sure, because if you're a controlling person, that's a really hard thing to do. But at some point, we all have to surrender, because even if you're super smart, like any successful person that you would consider, whoa, they are so successful. If they tell you they did it alone, they're lying.
Yeah.
Lying.
Yeah.
Nobody does it alone. We all need a leg up, help up, hand up. Everyone at some point has
Yeah.
somebody that has got them to that next level. I mean, would you agree?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think the thing is that a lot of people start to believe their own bull.
Yeah. The
That's a
stories they
problem.
tell themselves.
Yeah, the stories you tell yourself, right?
I've
Right.
done it.
And
I've done it. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, it's so true. Well, how would you say somebody that maybe finds themselves listening to this, they're in that right now? Maybe they're in that cycle we just have been discussing. How would you suggest they get out?
Oh, they don't believe it anyway. So they're not going to, they're not going to take advice, and they're not going to
Something's going to
listen to it.
happen though.
Yeah,
Something will happen.
there's a great verse that came out of some book that said, "Pride goeth before a fall."
Yeah.
And I really believe that. I've felt over the years that I was too cocky, and God has a way of knocking you down.
He threw me in the hospital in a coma and in there for 70 days. I had to take a lot longer than most to figure it out, but I'd like to say I'm
And
figuring it out.
and I had a stroke, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
was going to
I
ask
know.
you about that. So, when you were rebuilding your own life with that, do you feel like that your definition of success changed?
Oh
What
yeah.
that look
Oh
like?
God, yeah. Yeah, it became it went from being performative to being useful.
Hmm.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
purpose didn't change, but the way I viewed my purpose. Before the stroke, I was working unbelievable hours, just traveling way too much. I was spending 200 nights a year in a hotel room, and
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
yeah, yeah.
God knows how to slow us down.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely, he does. But it's I had to slow down. I was only sleeping about 5 hours a night before the stroke. I
Oh,
get cranky if I don't sleep 8 now,
yeah.
and
Sleep so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, I don't have very good English today, apparently. I have some rapid
That's
fire
easy.
questions.
That's
Would
easy.
you like
That's
to?
easy for you to say.
Ah! Okay, so no right or wrong answer, just top of mind answer. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Do you plan everything or do you leave room for spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
One word every great leader should embody. Or 2 words. That's fine.
Curiosity.
Ooh, a book every leader should read. That's hard.
Well, my first answer is the Bible, but the second one is probably Coaching for Performance.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Outwitting the Devil, a Napoleon Hill one.
I haven't heard that one, but
I wrecked my car listening to the audio of that. No lie.
Okay.
Another day story. Your biggest leadership pet peeve.
Believing your own bullshit.
Something leaders need to stop doing.
Believing their own bullshit.
Something leaders need to start doing.
Listening.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Success in one word.
Success isn't one word, though.
It is for me. I'll tell you after you tell me. You tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
Success isn't just one thing. It's good family and great marriage and happiness. Yeah, I mean, it's
that's the word right there. Happy. That tells it all. What you just said. If you're happy, you have all that, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
So that's when I say that's my definition of success is happy. That's just simple. Keeps it simple. I have to keep it simple. My brain doesn't work any other way. Gets itself confused. So, okay. Now, for people to get a hold of you, we have show notes. And so if they're listening to this on the go, can we just put that in?
Yeah, go ahead and put in the show notes. But Chip at Scholz and Associates is my email. Okay. And my books are on Amazon and also on a number of audiobook platforms. And
will
I'm
your
pretty
website,
easy to get a hold of.
If we take them there with the links you gave me, will your website also take them to your books?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good answer. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
That's right.
I love it. Well, Chip, thanks so much for coming on the show today. You've been a joy, and I think you have a lot of knowledge that our listeners are going to love. So everybody, give us some comments. I don't usually ask for those, but I'm going to start because I love to get feedback. When I'm on other people's podcasts, they're mostly my near-death stories, so they're near-death podcasts. I don't always like to read those because they're not nice. A lot of them are not nice. So it's sometimes, but my comments on my show, I want to read, even good, bad, or ugly, whatever it is.
That's right.
We'll take.
That's right.
Stay
away, trolls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so horrible. Okay, everybody. Till next time, we'll see you again on the show. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us on this episode of All Things Retreat. We hope you're leaving with new ideas, fresh inspiration, and the motivation to take your retreats to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us grow and reach more retreat leaders like you. And if you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or just want to say hello, send us an email at info@weretreatrnr.com. Follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all the latest updates. Until next time, remember, great retreats start with great intentions. Let's make them extraordinary, one step at a time. Thinking about hosting a retreat? Before you dive in, let's make sure you're really ready. Grab your free Are You Retreat Ready checklist and find out if you've got everything in place from your purpose and pricing to your audience and agenda. Don't guess. Get clear. This quick checklist will show you exactly where you stand and what you need to make your retreat a success. Click the link below in the show notes to grab your gift and take the first step toward hosting with confidence.